Okay, so here's another review that I'm gonna do because I haven't had a phone like all week until just right now. And I need to get a YouTube video out like ASAP. So we're gonna do another anime review. My last upload was like Sword Art Online review. Here's gonna be another review. I actually first found this anime on Netflix. It had the main show and then one of the movies on Netflix. And they took it off, and I had to buy everything on Blu-ray. So thanks a lot, Netflix, for making me spend money on things that I didn't really need to grab, but, whatever. Anyways, hold on. I am missing one of the things. Give me just 1 second. And we're back. I just want to preface this. This is going to be a review of the show Girls on Panzers. And it's all of the movies that sort of came off of it and two of the little extra things that go along with the show. But first off, Girls on Panzers, the actual show. It's pretty fun. I know there's some historical... There's not historical inaccuracies. It's actually pretty historically... All the historical references are very accurate and are definitely well-timed and researched. It's definitely a nerd's show if you're a history nerd and an anime nerd like I am. This is your niche, really. It really is. It's 12 episodes long. It's rather short in terms of anime. But it's cute girls driving tanks, basically. It basically follows the main character, Miho. She's been disowned by her old school, and she's taking her new school through a tankery tournament. And ends up having to face her older sister. Spoiler alert, by the way. She ends up having to face her older sister at the end of the show. But overall, it's pretty great. This show actually got me super into tanks and into military history. And the things I have learned are... It's a niche that I really enjoy, and I'm glad I've picked up. And it's a good watch. My favorite character is, of course, Yukari, my spirit animal. She's really everybody's spirit animal, to be fair. But she's basically the local nerd in the main group in the show. And she's super fun. The next side content, the first piece of side content in the show, they skip over one of the matches, and they do it very quickly. It's the match with the Italian team. One of the great things about the show is that everything is kind of based off of World War II. The German team at one point sneaks through a forest, and it's a reference to the Germans blitzkrieging through the Ardennes and all that in World War II. Everything's there's historical references like that throughout the entire show. But in the show proper, they kind of skip over the match with the Italians. If you want to see the Italian match, they released an OVA, which is this right here. This is the real Anzio battle, is what it's called. It's pretty good. They literally call the leader of the Italian team in the show Duce, which is an actual reference to Mussolini, the fascist dictator of Italy during World War II. It's definitely a nice add-on because it gives some background to one of the side characters on one of the teams, on the main team, which I really liked. There's not a lot of romance in this show. This is the only piece of romance that you will ever get in the show is in this little side. Not really a movie or an episode. It's like a short film. It's only like an hour long. It's the only sort of like love interest that you will ever see inside the whole show. This is the complete OVA series. This took me forever to find. For the record, this is what the back looks like. If you ever go out onto anywhere at a con, on Amazon, on any other sort of website to go find this, make sure that you get the right copy. Because I almost didn't. But it's cute. There's tank references in it. There are no tank battles, though. If you really enjoyed the character interactions in the show, which I know the writing in the show isn't anything to write home about, but if you did like the interactions in the show or in any of the movies, pick this up. It's just being able to spend more time with the girls, and I don't know what else to say about it. There's I think one of my favorite OVA episodes is actually when filling in some of the blank space left in the Pravda match in the show proper. When Yukari and Erwin go out on a spy mission, basically. And it sort of fills in the gaps of everything that happened with them. And it's actually pretty hilarious. So I do recommend. Girls on Panzer, their film. This actually introduces one of my favorite characters in the show. The leader of the... It's been forever since I've seen all these. What's her name? Her name is Mika. She's the leader of the continuation high school, which is basically... why am I drawing a blank on this? Oh my gosh! Who did Russia fight during the Winter War? Finland. I'm dying. Please ignore me while I have a brain aneurysm. Mika, she's basically the leader of the Finnish team. They get introduced in this show. They come to help Miho and everybody at Ori get their school back because it's threatened to get shut down. It's a 2-hour-long movie. It's basically 2 giant tank battles with some plot in the middle. If you want to watch it for the plot is there. The plot works. It's a little repetitive of the original series, but it works. If you just want to watch it for the tank fights, literally, it's a 2-hour-long film. An hour and a half of it is literally dedicated to the 2 tank battles. But yeah. On to the final series. There are only 2, as far as I know, only 2 English releases of the final series. There are 3 films that are out, and only 2 have English releases. So I have the 2 of those. The first one is Das Finale Part 1, where one of the student council members has to take over the role from Miho as commander of the Ori team, and has to lead the Ori school to victory in another tournament, which I wish that this show did something other than a tournament arc, but I mean, like, it's kind of mindless fun when you get down to it, and what you're watching this show and these movies for is a little bit of mindless fun and the history references. But overall, it's a pretty good movie. It's only an hour long. That's my only real critique of it. And there's a little Deus Ex Machina with the new tank that's introduced to the Ori team. But overall, it's pretty good. It leaves off on a cliffhanger, which Das Finale Part 2 picks up on, finishes the match with the Ori team, with the, pardon me, the French team. I'm forgetting the name of them. Give me just 1 second while I read this. Coming up, Ori, Under the Mayhem. I don't know why I can't see it. It's the BC Freedom Academy. It's on the second movie. Oh my gosh. The most hilarious thing, when you're being introduced to BC Freedom Academy, the leader of the BC Freedom Academy school, their tankery team, her name is literally Marie, and they're the French team. And I saw that and was like, that's funny. And then all she did was eat cake throughout the whole movie. All Marie does was eat cake, which was a little on the nose, but it's a history reference, so I like it. Which brings us to Das Finale Part 2, where the match with the French team finishes up. Ori wins, of course. And they move on to their match with the Japanese team, who they're actually very good friends with. And the match is very cordial and actually is super close, a lot closer than a few of the other matches. I think out of all the matches to be like most evenly split, or like evenly compared to in power level wise, I guess. My sort of gamer mind works in mysterious ways here. The Ori and Chiatan Academy, they're pretty evenly matched, and it leaves off on a cliffhanger, of course, and it's super freaking good. This show is definitely not for everybody. If you're just a generic anime fan, you just like anime for anime's sake, maybe steer clear of this. But if you're a history nerd like me, this is definitely a show for you. If you like a show about girls just doing stuff, in this case tankery, this show is for you. If you like action anime, this show might be for you. There's not a lot of blood and gore in it. Nobody dies in it, of course. Despite it being a show about tanks, it's anime. But overall, it's pretty freaking good. Like, A-, B+ anime, in my opinion. I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with it, but it's pretty dang good. Yeah.